have some big Spider-Man news, and I am literally bringing out my web slingers for you because there has been a big, huge announcement that the next Spider-Man movie starring Tom Holland is not only going to be starring Jamie Foxx returning as Electro from the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie that I reported on a couple months back, but now we are literally bringing in the past Spider-Man actors, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, who is still technically in negotiations, but I'll definitely get into that a little bit more, and even some more actors like Kirsten Dunst, who plays Mary Jane Watson, and Emma Stone, who is also still in negotiations to play Gwen Stacy. So I am really curious to know how this is all going to play out. I mean, of course, we heard also a while back that it was rumored that this movie, this third Spider-Man movie, was going to have this sort of multiverse scenario where the previous Spider-Mans were going to be in the movie and they were all going to be in it together. I mean, it still blows my mind. I mean, let's be real here. And it just seems like it's going to be a big, huge movie. So, Marvel, you're really trying to outdo yourself since Avengers Endgame, and what could possibly top it but maybe this movie, which seems like if you're a Spider-Man fan, you're probably going to want to see this movie, and of course I am a Spider-Man fan, so I am looking forward to seeing how this is all going to play out. I mean, the casting, it's just going to be crazy because even though we became familiar with Tobey Maguire as well as Andrew Garfield as the previous Spider-Man actors before Tom Holland eventually became probably one of my favorites to take on the role, but now I really hope that these actors that are coming in aren't going to overshadow Tom Holland, because I still feel like we've got a lot more to see from him, and considering that with what happened in the events of Spider-Man Far From Home, he still might have a lot of explaining to do, which is why we have even more casting news happening here. We've got Charlie Cox, who has been a fan favorite to play Daredevil in the Netflix show, which has become very popular and probably one of the favorites of the Marvel Netflix shows currently, and he is going to be coming on as Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, and I'd kind of like to see what his lawyer side to him can do for Peter Parker, and maybe help him out, because that's exactly what happened in the comics. And of course, with the events of Far From Home, he might need the Daredevil's help with all of that business, and maybe even help protect him from some other villains that are coming on to the scene. So not only do we have Electro, but we also have Doc Ock returning from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, and Alfred Molina has been cast to join, or has joined to star alongside everybody in this movie. So I think, wow, it's just so crazy to see him return, because I actually think he was probably one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, besides Green Goblin. So I think that he definitely gave a really good screen presence, and I think it would be really awesome to see how he's going to return here. And it is kind of questionable to see how some of these characters will return on screen, because didn't some of them die? Like Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy. Now, even though she is still in talks to sign on, but there's a lot of stuff going on in her personal life. She got married, now she's pregnant now, so we'll see how they're all going to start filming things, because things have already started to begin filming for Spider-Man 3. So I think to see when everybody else is going to start filming will be really interesting, because I also heard that Tobey Maguire has been rumored to be traveling to potentially have a costume fitting. I mean, you know, it'd be really cool to see all of these Spider-Man actors show up on screen together in their Spider-Man costumes, but it'll be interesting to see in the way that they might, you know, show up on screen. I heard that they're going to show up in the third act of the movie, so maybe it's not exactly how Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse played out, where they're all sort of like, you know, right there, bam, and throughout the movie we get to see what kind of adventure they're going to go on. But also, speaking of Gwen Stacy, I definitely want to see a Spider-Gwen, you know, alternate universe persona pop up on screen. I think that would just be so cool in live action. Seeing Tom Holland with not only these Spider-Man actors, but also returning once again with his lady love, Zendaya, and I just can't wait to see how all these people just return, and if, you know, it's all for a specific reason, because we know that the Marvel Universe has begun their multiverse, you know, plot point with the upcoming Doctor Strange 2, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and, you know, Doctor Strange might make an appearance here as well. And even the upcoming Disney Plus series, WandaVision, is also going to be discussing the multiverse. So it's just pretty cool how this is all going to be shaping up. But I really can't wait to see it, and it just all seems really exciting, and I feel like it's every fan's dream to want to see, you know, how they're all going to come together and work well, hopefully on screen, and not overshadow one over the other, and we're all gonna have equal time on, you know, camera, and just seeing how this is all going to play out in the, you know, overall Marvel Universe, because this really does seem to be shaping up to be quite the movie, and I still can't stop thinking about it, but it sounds amazing so far. So what do you guys think? Do you think that this will be one of the biggest Spider-Man movies ever made? Who are you more looking forward to seeing as far as the Spider-Man actors go? What do you think about the casting announcements and who they're adding to the overall cast? And are you looking forward to seeing this Spider-Man 3 movie? So let me know, and as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Trial Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.